Now, what I'm going to do, now we've talked a lot about tyres lately.
What's that thing?
Probably might want to move that.
Maybe?
Maybe. I don't want to splash it.
How's that?
That could be safe for the moment. We're looking at the overhead. What have I got here, Beej?
That's a little motory device.
It's a tyre sander. I'm going to do a little segment on preparing your race tyres. I'm going to do it live. It's been a while since we've done a tutorial, isn't it?
It
We used to do it all the time, I feel. Did soldering and all sorts.
We did.
No?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get my arbor off.
That's right.
My arbor off.
The arbor is this bit. That's a bit butchery, isn't it?
What?
Oh, there you go. It's just a little bit tight.
Tight
So here we go. We've got a little
tight like a
device
tiger.
here.
What does it do?
It spins tyres.
Spins tyres and wheels. Now, we use them really commonly in 1/10 touring car and on-road racing. We use it on our rubber tyres. We use it to clean and prepare them.
It's actually real light. I'm surprised.
Yep. That's our sweet Hearns racing one.
Right. Okay.
Now, and you can just use, I've got an old battery pack for this.
Yep. So this arbor has got a standard touring car.
12 mil hex.
Yep.
If we want to call it that, which we should because that's what it is.
And you're plugging that into a battery now to power it up.
Just a little battery. You can use a power supply in most applications. I just like to use it in a little
Zippy.
zippy. Keeps it all safe.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that can be.
So we've got a little battery. It's all plugged in there. Just a 2S battery. You can use 1S. Then we've got a directional switch here.
Yeah.
Forward, backwards, and we've got a speed adjustment.
Speed adjustment. Oh, it's variable. Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's got lights on the front to dictate RPM. I don't know if the camera's seeing that.
Oh, you can easily. Okay.
Now, why would you have direction?
For each side of the car.
That's right, left and right.
Different ways.
Left and right because they spin different ways.
Right.
Now it's not something that
lucky guess, wasn't it?
It's not something that I'm not racing at the highest level at the moment. Let's be honest.
Pretty high though.
I'm not. But if you were doing a really good job on your race tires,
yeah.
So
what do you do?
I've got a packet of brand new Sweep DX36Rs here.
Right.
Yep. Sweep DX36Rs.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do...
Okay, so this is your prep before you use them on a race meet.
I'm saying that this is my prep before I use them on a race meet.
Okay. All right, so this is brand spanking new.
So strap yourself in. This is going to be a little tyre tutorial.
Okay,
so
you
put it on. I put it on my tyre truer. And I spin it. How good is that? That is so nicely balanced. Yeah? So what I like to do is spin them all up. Now the reason I spin them all up to see if there's one which is out of balance.
And you can fix the balance, right? By using
you can fix the balance.
With tape or something like that.
Perfectly balanced again. So you can balance them if they need to be.
If it was out of balance, it would be full on flapping about, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I should have bought one. You know, there's other manufacturers out there that their tires, they're like 50-cent pieces. It's not going to mean too much to the Americans, but they're really out of round and out of balance. And this thing will bounce across the table, go, and fall off the table and try and eat you.
Yeah. Try and eat you?
Yeah. Runs up your face and everything, you know. You got tire marks everywhere. You got to strap the thing to the bench.
Oh, no.
So I'll spin. See, I've got all 4 of them now in the packet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I don't have? Permanent marker.
You want a permanent marker?
Yeah, permanent marker.
Oh, I'll try and find you one.
Anyway, doesn't matter. It's all right.
I've got.
Perfect. I am really happy with that. Have you got one? Yep. Have you got one?
Got a Sharpie.
A Sharpie.
Okay.
Now, what I will do with this is I will mark the inside of the wheel, 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually if I do have one that's a little bit out of balance or more out of balance, I will always put that on the rear, not on the front.
Okay.
Because when we run these high-tech touring car tires these days, generally don't rotate them.
Right.
Okay. Or change the direction of them.
So what are you writing on?
So I'm just putting on dots.
Oh, dots.
Yeah, and if otherwise I can put, if I'm changing compounds or whatever, I can put
Yep.
what it is.
Right.
But it's also got 140, so that helps. Well, each one of these sweep tires is stickered for quality control.
Yep.
And for ease.
Yep.
And for big events.
Yep.
So I'm numbering them 1 to 4. Okay.
All right. So 3 dots on that one.
3 dots on this one and 4 dots on that one.
Yeah.
And that's where that tire is going to live.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in your mind, you've already set out which corner is number 1, number 2.
Yeah. Number 1 is always the driver.
Right.
In my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've got number 1.
Yeah.
Is going to be the front right.
Okay.
In Australia, we drive on the right-hand side of the car. Again, Americans are going to be all confused.
Yes.
But yeah, so front right. 2 is going to be front left.
Yep.
3 is going to be rear right.
Yep.
And 4 is going to be rear left.
Right. Okay.
And that's never going to change. Okay?
Yep.
And that's also, now we can work on direction.
Okay.
Yeah? So the first thing I do here, and this is straight from my pit bag.
Oh, I got these things.
Yeah, you don't believe me. These are my 9 steps mini sanding sticks.
Yeah.
Have a look how much hard time it's had.
Oh, it's had a hard time with you, hasn't it?
No?
Take a bit of rubber off it.
Take a bit of rubber off it.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll
So
leave
what
that.
are we doing?
We'll leave that set up
So
here.
you got to work out which way to spin it.
So which way is it spinning? Forward.
Is it? It's going this way. What? Across the top like this.
It's going across the top.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you know what? That's the way we're going to sand it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, but what I'm going to do is I don't want to generate any heat. So I've got my bit of cleaner here. I've got a bulk supply of Dominate, which is a really good water-based cleaner.
Right.
So it's not unsafe. It's really good for helping you clean your tires safely and responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
Other products like Worth, brake cleaner and stuff like that, very, very harsh.
Right.
And this is something that's going to excite you. You didn't know what this is. This is a product, well, white foam. It's probably trademarked, but I'm going to call it Magic Eraser.
Oh, is that what you mean?
This is Magic
I've
Eraser.
got that at home. I didn't know what you're talking about.
Magic Eraser.
Is it? What's magic about it?
It cleans magically.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Right?
All right.
And I've got my sanding stick. So all I want to do on this first pass is see this little, and you can't see it on this new mold. This new mold from Sweep is phenomenal. Is I just want to get that center line off.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now I'm not going to do all 4 because
take a bit of time. Okay. So what have you done there? You
take a little bit of time.
You just sprayed some.
I sprayed a little bit of the tire cleaner on it.
Yeah.
A little bit of soap, effectively.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to spin this up ever so slightly.
Just across the center seam.
Just across the center seam. And a lot of purists don't even like doing that.
What do they do?
The fast guys. They will either use like a cuticle remover, so they're not getting any heat at all in the tire,
Right.
or they will use nippers. God hand nippers.
Really?
God hand nippers are a big favourite.
Right.
But I'm a bit rough.
How do they use the nippers?
The side cutters.
Oh, really? And cut it all the way?
All the way around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's quite an art. So again, we've got the direction.
Yep. You put a little bit of liquid on it.
A little bit of liquid. Yeah.
Yep.
And
how
then
far are you going to take down that center until it's even?
I just want to remove the tip.
Oh, the tip.
I
Okay.
just want to take it off. You can see there.
Want to go in a bit tighter?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have just cleaned it off flat.
Right. Okay.
Right.
And you can probably see it across here, right?
Yeah. And that is it. Okay.
So what's a freshy one look like?
So that's what the freshy one looks like.
Oh, can't see.
Can we see? Is the camera picking it up?
Oh, let's see what here. Oh, there you go. You
So
see that
it's,
line there.
it's only micro.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that when we put the car on the track for the very first lap,
Yeah.
it's got all the surface working.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I've used a bit of the soap
Because
on
if you
there.
don't take that, it'll just be run on that center line for a little bit.
Effectively. It
Yeah.
will wear off, of course.
Yes, yes, yes.
But-
yes. But you want maximum performance.
Maximum performance
from
straight
the
off.
get-go.
Of course, it's a brand new tyre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got that, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, next step in my tyre prep is Magic Foam, the Magic Eraser.
Oh.
And
all right.
again, with that, I'm going to soak that up with my cleaner.
Right. So there's quite a lot of soap in the sponge
It's
now.
quite a lot of soap in there. And I want to sort of Again with the direction.
It's like giving it a shampoo.
It is exactly like giving it a shampoo.
I don't know why I say that because I don't know how to shampoo anymore.
No, you've forgotten.
Yeah.
Now what this is going to do is remove any mold agent off the tire
Right.
and prepare the surface.
Right.
It's going to generate a little bit of heat, but I don't want it to smoke.
Right.
Now I don't know if you can feel that.
There's a little bit of warmth in it.
Probably just a little bit of warmth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, being mindful of the direction.
Yep.
And just giving it a little rub, a little shampoo, and you can see the blackness because the sponge was new.
Yep. Okay, so it's taking a little bit of material off.
It's taking a little bit of material off.
Right.
You can see here on the table.
Yep. Oh, there's little bits here.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it off.
Oh, hang on. Move that up a bit. There we go. Okay, so it's clean there.
Now feel how sticky that is.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Huh? That is like next level sticky. Yeah? So what that's done is opened up all the pores on the tire.
Right.
So it's opened up all the pores. We haven't taken anything, but that is sticky. I don't really want to touch it because it's putting your oils on it.
Oh,
Okay.
I just touched it.
That's okay. This is just a demo. So, yeah. Next run. So
Traction compound.
at this point now,
Mm-hmm.
I would generally put them on the car.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so they go onto the car
They
now.
go onto the car. You would do your other ones.
Yeah.
Again, so this one being on the other side of the car, you can either hold the tire sander over so you don't get confused,
Yep.
or just do reverse direction.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Sand it in the right direction.
Yep.
And you want to sand your tires after really at the highest level after every run.
Right.
Yep.
So the same procedure.
Well, you won't be using this one. You
Yeah.
won't
Because you
actually,
don't know it's in it
but you'll be
anymore.
getting rid of the graining.
Yep.
You might use a really fine. So that was a 240 grit what I started off with.
Yep.
You might use a really fine, like a 600 or a 400.
Yep.
So the graining is, I should have bought a second hand set, is when it gets
Yep.
all like fluffy.
Yeah.
And like all tear marks in it.
Okay.
You want to get that away to almost shiny
Yes.
and really, really smooth.
Okay.
More surface area
Yes.
and repair the rubber.
Yep.
Now at this point, this is when we put it on the car, and then 15 minutes before your race, you want to put traction compound.
Okay.
Okay. Now, two of the most favorite traction compounds that we have is the ATS Hearns Hobbies traction additive.
Yep.
And this is super, super popular for a very good reason.
Mhm.
It works, and it works
Yeah.
bloody well.
Yes.
Okay. But it is like a known danger, and it is toxic.
Yep.
So you do have to be very careful when you're using it.
Yeah.
Especially around kids and that sort of stuff. So you do need to treat it like you're working with a harsh chemical,
Mhm.
because it is. But you put that on there,
Mhm.
and I'll use this one because it's open. This ATS one's actually not open.
Okay. And
So
the TDK
This
one
is a TDK one. So this is the one that I generally use, especially with my off-road tires out at Keeler and the oil thing.
Yeah.
Because we do clean them and use a bit of tire goop.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff we use. Now, what you want to make sure,
So this stuff is non-toxic.
this stuff is non-toxic. So it's a little bit like you don't want to drink it or anything like that, but it is non-toxic.
Mm.
So you want to wash your hands before you eat and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you get it in your eye, it's not going to make you blind.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not going to kill you or give you cancer.
That's a good thing too.
Yeah. So you just want to put the tiniest little dot, and it's hard when you're only doing. So usually I'll put it on the cars on the stand. I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4
Right.
dots
Across the top. Yeah.
across the top.
Yep.
And then you just turn it over
Okay. With the residue that's on it.
with the residue,
Okay, and just coat the rest of it.
and that is too much. See how it's a really like a thick film, like it's
Yeah, it's hanging on there, isn't
it's
it?
a
So
really
like a
it's
wet
really
coat.
hanging on there. It's like a wet coat.
So how? What? So you want a thin coat on, yeah?
So you really want a thin coat. You really
Oh,
don't
okay.
want the tire to be wet.
But you still want it looking wet.
Sort of, but you want
So
it to look,
glossy, but not thick.
yeah.
Okay.
So just like that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know that's probably going to be impossible to see on camera. You want it wet, but you don't want it pooling, especially
Oh, I can see
around
it.
the bottom of the cups, because when you put your tire warmers on, the cups will just pool at the bottom.
Right.
Okay. So you put that on 15 minutes before your race.
Yep.
Bang the tire warmers on.
Yep.
Boom. You want
and
to put
cook it in.
You want to cook it in. You want to put 50, 60 degrees.
Right.
15 minutes before your race. Then just before your race, you take it off, and that should be completely dry. If you've applied it properly, it should be completely dry. If it's not dry at that point, you want to wipe it off, put the warmer back on quickly. Yep. Power your car up and everything. Take it to the grid.
Right.
And at big races, we'll generally take our cars to the grid with the warmers on. So they won't be the box and everything, but you leave the cups on the car.
Yes.
Yeah. To retain that heat.
Yes.
Because you've usually got to check your car, check your battery voltage, and put it down. So you go out with your tire warmers, go out. You'll do maybe 3/4 of a lap or half a lap because you don't want to wear off your tire group and keep your tires fresh. And boom, you've got the fastest tire going.
Right.
And that's how you prepare and do a modern sweep tire.
There's a little bit of method to it, but it's not difficult, is it?
There's a little bit of method to it. And the more you look after your tires and treat them, the longer they last and the faster they go.
Right.
You know, it's not like when we race. When I race phaser, you're not allowed to use any traction additive. You are allowed to clean them and buff them, but on principle, I don't, because it's not something that new people should feel that they have to do.
Absolutely.
So you just put them on and go.
But if you're at the very, very top,
if you
have to go absolutely.
Or if you want to get the most out of your tires, it's as simple as that. If you demand the most out of your tires and you want the absolute most performance, that's a very good sort of basis of technique. And everybody's got their own superstitions and their own little ways. And then when it comes off track, again, you'll generally clean it. You'll just use the cleaner.
Yes.
You'll use the magic eraser.
Yes.
Hopefully, if it's not too fluffy, grainy. If it is grainy, then you'll use a very light sandpaper.
Yes.
Again, you'll get it back to sort of, see this matte thing. You won't get it back to gloss.
Yeah.
But you'll get it back to the matte finish there in the center.
Yeah.
So you'll get it like the matte finish there in the center. You won't get it to the gloss.
Yeah.
And then at that point, when the tire's warm from that, then you think about putting them back on the car. That's why a lot of people will use setup wheels or a second set of wheels for their car for setup, because they're race tires. They really don't want to touch them. And then every run, as a precaution, you always check the gluing and the tearing, and if you have damaged it.
Yeah.
You know, from running over gutters and curbs, especially on the outside ridge, you want to take your wheel off and check every one, because that's when, before you do any of this prep, this is when you want to be fixing it. So you just might be the slightest little bead, put it aside for 5 minutes, and make sure that is dry before you put it on the tire sander. Otherwise, you'll get a big super glue spray across your face.
That's not nice, is it?
Not nice at all.
No.
Bit of tire prep and a bit of DX36.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty educational, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it's been a while since we've done a tutorial. So
Sure.
And everybody's got their own ways, and I'm happy to learn. If I've done anything wrong, guys, or if I need to change it, because I actually haven't raced for a while, if I need to change my technique, let me know. I'm more than happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People that, I've been doing it like this for years, there's always something new. The tire technology changes, the methods change.
Everything evolves.
I'm always happy to learn, and because I don't race, it's like something that we were doing years ago. But I have attended a few big events lately, and yes.
And that's the way to do it.
Some of the fastest guys.
Yep.
And that's why we sell so many of these little sanding sticks to the RC guys. They go, these aren't from these. Yeah, they don't wear. We see how much you use it. Yeah.